The transmission didn't have music. It had a heartbeat that shouldn't exist in the Highlands. Thomas adjusted his radio as the clicking began. It was a biological cipher, a set of instructions for the nerves. As he listened, the warmth of silver threads moved under his skin. He noticed the birds in his garden were changing. They stopped singing and started clicking in sync. Their nests were no longer twigs, but silver wires stripped from the lines. The forest was becoming a giant antenna, tuning into a signal from deep beneath the cold earth. One night, a chorus of 1,000 whispers filled his room. "The pattern is almost done, Thomas. We just need one more needle." He felt his fingers grow long and spindly, his joints popping with the same rhythm as the radio. The weaver was calling him to the final stitch. He drove to a derelict mill by the Blacklock. The air was thick with a violet mist that tasted of copper. Inside, the village elders sat in a circle. Their mouths were sewn shut with glowing red thread, their bodies swaying in a hypnotic synchronized dance. In the center stood the great loom. It wasn't made of wood, but the bleached bones of missing hikers. The thread was a stream of human DNA, pulled from the air like smoke. It was a factory for a new existence, where souls were discarded for a collective tapestry. A figure emerged from the rafters in a suit of woven hair. "You've arrived for the final stitch," the weaver hissed. He held a silver needle that pulsed with internal light. "The world is messy. We are here to make it tidy. We are here to make it one." Thomas tried to scream, but his vocal cords were now vibrating wires. His skin stretched like parchment over a metal frame. He wasn't a guest. He was the raw material. The weaver stepped forward, the needle glowing with a terrifying, absolute purpose. The needle pierced his chest, but there was no blood. Instead, blue light poured into the loom. His memories, childhood, first love, and fears unspooled into the mechanism. He was losing his identity, becoming a decorative border in a god's infinite living room. Outside, the world began to ripple. The trees and mountains lost their shape, flattening into a complex design. The signal spread through the wired nests of the birds, turning the entire ecosystem into a flat, silent work of art. The three-dimensional world was dying. The weaver admired the work. "Beautiful," he gurgled. "A world without friction, just the eternal repetition of the thread." He picked up the microphone and began a new broadcast. His voice was now 1,000,000,000 miles wide, reaching for the cities beyond the valley. By morning, the mill had vanished. In its place was a field of silver grass that hummed in the wind. The villagers and Thomas were gone. All that remained was an intricate tapestry hanging from a dead tree, depicting a man looking at a radio in frozen wonder. If you drive through those hills, your GPS will glitch. You'll see roads that lead into solid rock. You might hear a clicking in your speakers that makes your skin feel tight. Don't listen for long. The weaver is always looking for a fresh thread to fix his masterpiece. The horror isn't the pain, it's the perfection. Your entire life is just a single stitch in a design you can't see, controlled by a hand that doesn't feel. The loom is still turning beneath the stone, weaving the future into a silent, silver grave for us all. The broadcast never truly stopped. It moved to a frequency your heart hears better than your ears. Every time you feel a sudden, unexplained shiver, remember the silver wire. Don't look for the source of the clicking. The weaver is already holding the needle.